we are live. It has been a pretty good night for Sandhills Shooter and Sandhills Sweetheart. I guess we're Team Sandhills. We got our wedding done, got our wedding dance done. Didn't have a big turnout, but we had some people that were dancing all night long, so that was good. We are headed home, driving down good old US Highway 20. Hey, 30. How you doing there, Mr. Clipazine? Glad to see somebody is still up and about tonight. Just got his haircut. Well, all right, man. I did that last night before I went to bed. But I've got the best barber in town because my wife is also my hairdresser. All I ever do is just buzz it off with the clippers anyway, so I don't feel the need to pay money for that. I kind of figured that you either did it yourself or there was a missus to do it for you this time of night. Makes sense though. Sometimes we've got a hair boutique in our upstairs bathroom. Yep, exactly. That's why you got it done at 1 a.m. So Clipazine, I know we just got together on Facebook, but I don't remember now. It's 1 o'clock where you are, so where are you, sir? We got some little tiny eyeballs up there in the ditch. Looks like there's a kitty cat running down the road. Indiana, all right. That evil state of Indiana that sells all the guns in Illinois. All the bad people in Illinois that do bad things with guns, they must get them from Indiana. That's what I've always heard. So I don't believe it for a minute. Watch out for deer. Yeah, we've already had to slow down once tonight for deer. I didn't go live until we got back to O'Neill. We knew we weren't going to make it in time to catch McDonald's, but because they're not open all night in Podunk, Nebraska. But there's a truck stop that stays open all night, so I didn't even bother going live until after we'd been there. So we've got some munchies and some drinks now, so we're good for the rest of the trip. But yes, when you're driving through the Midwest, you always need to be watching for deer. I guess that's probably true most places anymore. Man, I couldn't read that whole message. I saw something about don't have gun violence. I didn't see the whole thing, Clipazine, but it makes sense if you're selling all the evil guns across, getting them across the state line, then you wouldn't have gun violence in Indiana because all the evil guns are going to Chicago. So, which, from the sound of it, I've never been, but from the sound of it, Chicago must be pretty much just a war zone all the time. I don't know why anybody would go there. That was the gist. All right, good enough. So which part of Indiana are you? North, south, central? You hang out with Larry Bird ever? I mean, off the top of my head, I can't name too many people that I know that came from Indiana besides like the
Tony Stewart did.
Tony Stewart? That stone cold killer Tony Stewart. Don't get out of your car on the racetrack, he'll kill you. South Central, just north of Louisville. All right, cool. Yeah. Makes sense to me. You're in the part of Indiana that's east of Illinois then, huh? Is that what you're telling me?
You sure you want me to drive?
That's
I can drive.
sometimes people ask me. They don't, a lot of people don't know different parts of Nebraska unless you're from Nebraska. It doesn't really do me any good to say what part. Hey, where guys, just saw somebody pop up there that says that you live in Nebraska, that's why you subscribed. I didn't catch who it is, but keep talking, man. What part of Nebraska are you in? I'm driving, we just left O'Neill. Well, we just drove past, anyway, Inman. We're on Highway 20. What part of Nebraska are you coming from? Does that say Deathwind? Is that Deathwind? That's a cool name if that's Deathwind. North Platte. All right. See, where I came from in Nebraska, it's one of the coolest places in the world because check this out. I could drive south and get to North Platte, or I could drive north and get to South Dakota. So it was a cool place to be from. Where am I from? I don't know if you're gonna know, but if I just say Kippahaw County, if I say north of Ainsworth and Bassett or east of Valentine, that usually kind of narrows it down for a lot of people. When I was in Tulsa at the Wanamaker gun show with Travis P11, we South Bend in the north and North Vernon in the south and Indiana. Yep, that's kind of how that works. Travis and I actually, I shouldn't say Travis and I. Travis did an interview on his channel, and I just held the camera so he didn't have to, and he could actually be on the camera in his interview. But there was one of the interviews he did. I think the people were from, I think Illinois, but they do like safari hunts and that kind of stuff. But they knew Valentine. They go there. Valentine, Nebraska is kind of as far as small towns go, it's one of the ones that people know about. Every year on Valentine's Day, they get just a ton of Valentine's Day cards that people want postmarked from there. So apparently, I don't know if they receive a box and then they open the box and there's these cards that are stamped, and then they just go ahead and postmark them and mail them out from there. I don't know how that works for sure, but apparently there are people that think that's pretty cool to have a Valentine, postmarked Valentine. So that's pretty cool. But I'm going the other direction now. We're heading towards Norfolk. Speaking of north and south, Norfolk was named for the North Fork of the Elkhorn River. I should be in a hotel sleeping. Dude, why don't you come up here and tell me that to my face? It's only like 16 hours up here, I think, from Brownsville. Matt's on.
Hi, Matt.
Sandhills Sweetheart says, "Hey, Matt, wants to know if you want to get together sometime and serenade her again." Or am I heading Norfolk? We live in Norfolk. Matt says, "Sure, he'll get together and we'll serenade."
Next year at Wanamaker.
Okay, she's gonna hold you to it. She says Wanamaker next year. So I think the karaoke thing needs to be an annual event too. I'm hoping next year that we can get down there soon enough that we can catch the J.M. Davis Museum. And I want to see all that stuff. That looked pretty neat. And I know G-Webs is talking about maybe, I think G-Webs and Cycle Camp and maybe a few others might have kind of put together some sort of a game plan as far as like a route to take through the museum. I don't know what they want to do, but well, yeah, you can do a little Boys to Men, Matt. That'd be cool. Someone has to do Good Old Boys. Yes, End of the Road. I have heard you do that one. Anybody wants to hear Travis P11 and Never Enough Ammo singing a little bit of End of the Road, go catch my what was it called? Winding down in the room after the karaoke. I've got that video up. We went live after we got back to our hotel in Tulsa, and Matt and Night Strike were hanging out in the room with Travis and I. Travis and I split a hotel room, and you can see clearly there are 2 beds in the room. Nothing goofy went on, or did it?
At 3:30 in the morning.
At 3:30 in the morning? No, actually it was about 2:30 in the morning. But Eastbound and Down, you know what? That's a great song. I played some good old classic country songs tonight at the wedding dance that we were at. We were lit. Well, you two were lit up. Matt and Travis were lit up. Night Strike didn't have any drinks, and I was driving, so I didn't have any drinks. But yeah, I think that the 2 of you made up for Night Strike and me. What? Somebody just got here and then they're leaving. I didn't see who it was. It's Deathwind. Hey, thanks for jumping on, Deathwind. Greetings to the North Platte connection. So we'll have to chat again sometime. It's pretty cool. Hey, Jacob's back with us. All right. Oh, I'm having a hard time reading comments here. I'm trying to drive, so you guys maybe talk amongst yourselves. Oh, Matt's just singing. That's cool. He's doing a little Jerry Reed impression there. I am actually eastbound and down. We're loaded up and trucking. And we are going to do what they say can't be done. We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound. Just watch old Bandit run. I'm gonna maybe try and drive and chat, maybe eat a little bit here too. All right, I'm gonna let my co-pilot help me. If anybody has access to a Cubby's truck stop, Cenex gas station, I tell you what, they make some pretty mean sandwiches. Missing more chat. That's all right. If it's important, make sure you maybe ask it a couple times. Anyone sub to Guns and Gadgets? Guns and Gadgets. I should know that. I think I am actually. I can't read. If it's a long message, I'm not going to be able to keep up with the chats. I can't read them before they fade back out, and I can't reach up and touch my phone and drive at the same time. Keep the chats popped up, so I'm not a danger to the road. That's why I can't follow the chats very well, Matt. My priority is to keep it between the lines, and so if that means that I got to look at the road and I miss somebody's comment, that's the way it's going to be. Don't worry about me. You know I can get it home safe. Apparently Guns and Gadgets there's a fresh kill on the road. Somebody did not see the deer or didn't get stopped in time, looked like. If anybody wants some nice tender venison, I just went past it. Alzheimer's Sucks, which is a very true name, is commenting not much traffic. Well, yeah, I don't know if you're in Nebraska, if you've ever been in Nebraska, but on Highway 20, where I'm at 12:30 in the morning, yeah, this is how the traffic looks. Pretty open country now. A lot of people rolling up and down the road this time of night. That's right. I did get you back to the hotel safe. You know why? Because I was the DD. That's my job.
I'll drink next year with you next year.
Matt, my wife says she'll have a drink with you next year. As long as you sing to her, she'll have a drink with you, and I'll still get everybody back home safe. So if you want to ride in our vehicle or whatever, I don't know. I'd like to go down a couple days earlier, at least one day earlier than Travis and I did this year. And I don't know that Travis is going to be able to get that kind of time away from school. So we'll see. I'll talk to him about that. But because if we can carpool, that would be amazing. But if we can't, I guess Mrs. and I'll bring our own car down. Because I really would like to maybe get to Range Day and get to the Firearms Museum. Do some of that other stuff, along with the karaoke and the gun show. Now that I know what I'm looking at, that would be pretty cool to actually go and do some interviews maybe this next year. I know we're not going to make it in November, so we're going to have to plan on April again.
Was he on Caliber Corner this morning?
Was who on?
Matt.
Matt? He was just for a little bit. Matt was driving home this morning on Caliber Corner.
Does he
And
know about your gun?
I guess I don't know. Matt, did you catch the part of Caliber Corner? Were you on there when we were talking about my my anniversary gift? I think you were. You know what? Next year at karaoke, I think you and Travis should do "You Lost That Love and Feeling." You could be the super righteous brothers and do that song. Actually, at karaoke. You knew what was up. Do you mean about my gift? Were you in on this?
Travis must have told him.
You and Travis talked about it. Well, you are also an a-hole. I said, as soon as I got got my gift last night, I picked up my phone and I texted Travis and I said, "You are an a-hole," and he just texted me back. He goes, "You're welcome." So yes, I guess I guess it's no secret. Everybody's known that if they know Matt at all. But no, that was pretty cool. Everybody kept it a secret. I was completely caught off guard. I had no idea that was coming. So the best part, if you haven't heard the story, if you didn't watch Caliber Corner this morning, when I was in Tulsa, we had a table. Even online, you can keep a secret. Well, the trick is to not let everybody know about it. Who else knew? Was it just you two? Or did everybody from gun channels know about it but me? Am I the only one that didn't know? When we were down there, G-Webs had a table for us, and we all kind of had a place to put our gear and stuff, and anybody that bought a gun, could bring it back and didn't have to carry it around all day. We had somebody there at our table all the time, kind of keeping an eye on stuff. It was nice to have some chairs. If you were tired of walking around, you could just come and rest for a while. And 2 tables down from us was a dealer there, and he had some guns there from his private collection, and he had a pair of Browning X-Bolt medallion rifles. I think one was a 30-06, which has never really interested me at all. And then one was, for me, the holy grail of Browning rifles. It's the exact rifle I've always wanted. It was a 270, and it was the maple finish wood stock, and then it's got rosewood on the very tip of the fore end, and then the cap on the pistol grip is also rosewood. Blue finish, blue steel, and it's a beautiful, beautiful gun. And he had a really good price on it for the gun show. And I was looking at it, and I sent a picture of it to my wife, and I said, "Hey, is there any way that we can free up the funds and shift stuff around so that I can bring this thing home?" And she said, we just can't. I'm sorry. There's just no way that we can do that right now. And so, what am I going to shoot with that 270? You know what? You just keep watching, and I will hopefully be able to get some of that get that up on YouTube come in November. One of the reasons why I'm not going to go to Wanamaker in the fall is because in November I can take time off either to go deer hunting or to do something else, and this year It's going to be deer hunting again.
Branson.
And maybe a trip to Branson if we can squeeze it in. My wife really wants to go back there, and I've never been, so we might get as far as Branson. But for sure, I'm going to save some time off and take it to go deer hunting. See if I can get another nice buck. So that's what I'm going to plan on shooting for dinner with that 270. I probably won't get to shoot anything with it until then. Maybe a piece of paper at some point. You do need to go hunting up north. You need to get a Nebraska permit and just come up, because I could take you in some beautiful, beautiful country. And yeah, anybody that, if you haven't ever deer hunted in Nebraska, then you need to try it. I guess if you're in Indiana, they probably have some pretty good deer hunting that's a little closer, but
Yeah, finished our
you got a 45-70 that needs something big to shoot. Well, bring it along, but bring something that's going to shoot a ways out there too, because you might want to carry two different rifles if you're going to carry a 45-70. You can get within 45-70 range, no problem, but that 6 will do a little bit better, Matt. Just because there might be times that you might be shooting 300-400 yards if you've got the confidence and you can place the shot at that far. It's not uncommon to do. So heck yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at this rifle, begging, pleading, doing everything I can to try and get my wife to agree that we can free up the funding for this or take it out of savings or something, and she said absolutely not, it's not going to happen. And so I walked away from that rifle, and your longest shot's about 200. Yeah, we sight our rifles in at 200 up here. We just zero them. We dead hold at 200. So yeah, you might want to practice a little bit farther out if you can. So I walked away from this rifle, and here's what happened that I didn't know about until just last night. My wife turns around and sends a message to Travis and says, "Hey, he's looking at that gun, what can I do to get that here?" And Travis walks over, and I had not paid attention to where these people were from at all. I mean, I would have been talking to them had I realized they're from Nebraska. All right, welcome back. But I didn't realize that the dealer was actually from Nebraska. So Travis walks over there, and he's like, "Holy crap, they're from Kearney, Nebraska," which is not that far from Travis. That's the town where he went to the theater to see Avengers. That's the town he went to. That's where the college is, the closest really big town with things, more than just a Walmart, because he's got that in his town. But so it was pretty cool. So the guy tells Travis, "Well, if she can get me, a $100 bill, then I'll hold the gun, and then we can figure it out later, and he'll just take it back to Nebraska with him," which is nice. Then we didn't have any transfer fees or extra stuff like that, that would have had to cross the state line or anything like that with firearms. So that worked out pretty well. So it gets better because the dealer's daughter,
2 daughters.
okay, apparently more than one daughter, live 15 miles from the town where my wife works. And so it just happened he was coming up anyway, and not only was he coming up to where the daughters live, he came right to the town where my wife works, because there was a huge gun auction today and tomorrow down there. I'm not going to be able to go to either day, not that I can afford anything. I saw the sale bill, and this is a collection. This is somebody's, I think, passed away, and they're selling off Granddad's gun collection. He's got collectible stuff that we saw down at Wanamaker that I wasn't used to seeing at a normal gun show in Nebraska, like a Remington Rand 1911. There's a 1911 that was I think General Patton's grandson's 1911. It's actually the slide is engraved with his name, and he gave it as a gift to this person who's had the auction there. And so I mean, there's some high dollar stuff. I wouldn't even probably be able to afford to even get in on the opening bid on any of this stuff. So I wasn't worried about going. But he was up there for that. brought the rifle right to her. She paid him the balance of the rifle and got it home just in time to get it wrapped up before I came home last night from work. So yeah, I got an anniversary gift. Technically, it wasn't quite our anniversary yet, but we knew that...
It was after midnight.
Was it after midnight?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was then. It was after midnight, so it was already the next day. Look at that, Clearwater, Nebraska. The hometown of Mrs. Sandhills. But we're not going to stop at her mom and dad's on the way through, because I'm pretty sure they're asleep. And if they're not, they ought to be. So that's the story of the rifle. I got a rifle that I wanted to buy in Tulsa, and I couldn't believe her when she said that's the one I looked at in Tulsa. I said, this is just like it. She goes, no, that's the one that you had your hands on in Tulsa. And here's the crazy thing. After I walked away from that rifle, about an hour later, I came back over there, walked past that table. I stopped, and I was looking at it, and I was thinking, man, I should just try one more time to get her to let me buy this thing. And about that time, the guy walks over, picks it up, grabs the box, and sets them both back behind the table and says, well, that one just sold. And I've heard, and I totally believe that's true. I'm sure this is true, because the guy said the look on my face was like he just killed my puppy, like my dog just died. That was the look on my face. Well, I wasn't ready to cry.
That's what he said. It
But
looked like you were ready to cry.
I might have looked at. I was not about to cry over the deal, but apparently it looked like somebody just ran over my dog. That's how dejected I was that somebody bought this rifle out from under me before I could use my powers of persuasion on the woman I love. So little did I know that it was bought out from under me by my wife, with the help of Travis, and apparently Matt knew about it, and a few other people. So you guys all suck, but thanks for keeping it a secret, because it was an awesome gift. And it really makes me wish I had gotten her a gift, because we didn't talk about gifts at all, so I wasn't prepared. I'm a horrible husband. I've got a much better wife than she does a husband, I can tell you that much. Although I did get her something, and there's a card, and I don't think she's found that yet in the house. So I left it where she'd find it, and I don't think she's found it yet. She's looking at me like I just grew an arm out of my ear. Did you find it?
No.
See? You need to be a little more observant, because I know you've walked right past it twice. So, I am a little sneaky sometimes. There's some traffic. We're finally getting into some traffic. Actually, it'll pick up a little bit the closer we get to Norfolk, but not much. Not this time of night. We've actually long since passed the junction. I'm no longer on Highway 20. I'm on Highway 275 now. Yeah, it's just about a traffic jam. The good news is this time of night we're not going to have to worry about coming up on any tractors and discs or anything driving down the shoulder of the road. So that's kind of nice. Still trying to eat here in between sentences, so tractors are the worst? No, they're not. No, we were talking about that when I was driving out this afternoon. I don't mind it a bit, but growing up, being the guy that sometimes had to drive the tractor down the road, I understand. Sometimes, and trust me, if you get behind a tractor and you're in a hurry and you can't get around it, believe me when I tell you, that guy does not want to be on the road getting everybody lined up behind him like that. If he could avoid it, if there was a different way to go, he would, okay? He would. But sometimes he just doesn't have that choice. So just try to be patient with them, and remember that every time that you eat something with wheat or corn or any soybean product, just thank that guy that was driving down the road. that you had to slow down for. Because without our farmers, dude, we don't eat. Without our ranchers, you don't get beef. So, where I came from, it was a ranch. It wasn't a farm. We didn't do much farming. Raised a lot of cattle.
I'm not seeing any of the comments.
Turn your phone. Hold on just a second. Mrs. Sandhills is on. Down at the bottom where it says live chat. Tap that.
See live chat. I said top chat.
Okay, top chat. There you go. There's your comments. Everybody say hi to Sandhills sweetheart.
Jacob says, sorry, just trying to spread the message. It's serious shit that needs to be heard.
What message? Can you scroll up? Jacob, I heard you're trying to spread the message, but I missed the message. But Mrs. is gonna try and scroll up and find what message you're spreading.
Yeah, something about Arizona passing gun control bill.
Oh. All right, Jacob, can you expound a little bit now that I have somebody who's actually watching the chat and can read these to me? What happened in Arizona? Is that what you were talking about? That Guns and Gadgets was talking about? Is there a video that we need to catch sometime?
Anyone sub to Guns and Gadgets, just sub to him, of which he posted a video of Arizona passing gun control bill. Shit is not right.
All right, well, I tell you what, since I can't go watch that right now because all 6 of you are watching me, can you just enlighten us a little bit? What law did they pass that was bad? I mean, most any law they could pass would be bad. I get that, but is this something we're going to hear G talking about? G lives in Arizona. Is this something he's going to be talking about here in the next couple days worth of videos, or maybe if I catch the Daily Gun Show, did he talk about that? I tell you what, guys, those of you that are watching me, if you have not gone to gunchannels.com and joined up, it's free. Go join up. There are so many good live shows. People talk about actual worthwhile stuff, not just Sandhills shooter driving down the highway. But every night of the week, there's several different live chats. Never Enough Ammo. Well, Never Enough Ammo used to have a live chat. I guess you're still Never Enough Ammo on Gun Channels, aren't you? Mr. Matt is the name of the channel on YouTube that you need to watch now for that stuff. But Yankee Marshall does a couple every week, and then we've got Night Strike, and we've got Travis P11, and we've got Ghost Tactical, and Outlaw Hatfield, and Clover Tack, Tardot, Gelsma. These guys are all doing weekly chats. It's really kind of exploded in the last year, to where every night of the week now there's stuff to watch. So make sure you're catching that. If you're up late, which it's already over, so if you're up now, you probably could have caught the Daily Gun Show. That happens every weeknight at I believe midnight Eastern, 11 Central, 10 if you're in the Rockies, and 9 p.m. if you're on the West Coast, I guess. But yeah, if you haven't gone over to Gun Channels and got yourself a membership, you really need to do such a thing. It's a cool place to be. If you haven't gone to follow me on Instagram, at Sandhills Shooter, all one word, 2 S's in the middle. You can also find Sandhills Shooter on Facebook. Give me a like if you want to. I don't do too much with it. Not yet, but I try to, when I make new videos, get those posted up on there too, so people know that they're there. But I haven't seen many chats come through in a while, or messages come through in a while. Have we heard yet from Jacob?
Nope.
Are you still with us? Where'd you go, Jacob? I didn't do a very good loading job. I can hear some of my stuff rattling in the back. Some of my speaker poles. Or I guess not speakers, it's lights. This is the life of a DJ. Driving home. 12:45 in the morning. 12:50 in the morning. And 7 people watching. I think there's people that are waiting just to find out what the gun law in Arizona was that got passed. Now the road got smooth. So earlier we had somebody from Nebraska on who
What's up, guys?
yesterday's pomade. How you doing? We had one Nebraskan in the chat. If anybody else is from Nebraska, let me know. But real quick, those of you that are watching, where are you watching me from? I know, Jacob, you were watching earlier this afternoon, and I really ought to be able to remember where you said you were from, or maybe you didn't tell me.
If I was any better, there would be 2 of me.
Well, I understand that sentiment. Except for if there was 2 of me, that would not be better for anybody.
I think there were several ways that would be better.
Hey. Takes a long time to eat a sandwich when I'm talking. But the road's kind of boring, so I figure I should probably fill some of this with some talk. When we were driving out, I was preaching. I don't remember what it was that I got myself all riled up over now, or what got me all riled up. I know what I was preaching about, but come on, sound off, guys. Where are you watching from? And how are the gun laws where you are? Are you living in a state that's got some decent laws? Are they crap? Anybody that tells me they're in New York, California, or Illinois, you already have my sympathies. As far as the gun laws go. But if you tell me that you're in New York, California, or Illinois, you have
worse in the country, according to Bloomberg.
What happened? What?
Indiana, 13th worst in the country, according to Bloomberg.
13 worst at what? As far as gun laws go? Bloomberg says the gun laws are bad. That must mean they're pretty good. But that dude never wants to go to Wyoming or Texas. Or some of those other... Montana's pretty decent, I think. Idaho's pretty decent. Idaho gun laws must not be too bad. That's where Matt was planning on moving at one point. Before that move didn't happen for sounds like a few different reasons. But I know that Matt wasn't going to be moving to any place with bad gun laws.
Yeah, we're pretty free. I just bought a new suppressor today.
Nice. You bought it today or you picked it up today? Because I've never done that process, but don't you have to buy it and then, like, you pay for the suppressor, but then you can't pick it up until the tax stamp comes in? Is that how that works? Correct me if I'm wrong, because again, like I said, I've never done it. Okay, we're back. I might here the next couple miles.
Correct.
So you wait a few months. So did you buy the suppressor today, or did you pick up the suppressor today? do you possess it now? Or do you just own it and you can't have it yet because of, again, a stupid law? Come on, man, we're all on pins and needles. I know there's a little bit of a delay from the time I ask that question to the time I see an answer. Yeah, we all kind of want to know, man. Inquiring minds want to know.
Triple D.
Vandal! Good morning, mate.
Oh, is this the new guy?
How was your sleep? Last time we talked, you were just heading to bed. You can call me whatever you want to. I was Triple D Sounds tonight. That's the name of my DJ company.
What's up, Sandy? I bought it according to, I got 5 months to wait.
Okay. So congratulations on your purchase. It sucks that because of the stupid law, stupid NFA, that you have to wait that long to take your property home. But congratulations on your purchase. Yeah, before my phone lost signal there, I was about to say I don't own a gun with a threaded muzzle, so.
How'd the wedding go?
How did the wedding go? Dude, it was good. It was good. We did the music for the ceremony, which is always a little nerve-wracking when we weren't part of, rehearsal. I'd never been in that church before. We had to figure out how to plug into the sound system and do all that. And some of the songs that I needed to play for the wedding ceremony, I couldn't get on iTunes. And I had to play them off my phone on YouTube. I downloaded the song, actually from YouTube. And since I wasn't playing a wedding dance, it wasn't illegal. It was just we did it for the ceremony. So I think that makes it okay. If not, then I didn't do what I just said. I made that up. Okay, well, hopefully I'm back. I know there's one little gap between some towers, but I'm driving towards the tower now, so hopefully you guys are up. So
how was the space? Or how was the sound? Was it a big space?
In the church. Sound in the church, it was good. A little robot-y. Okay, that's gonna happen, but it's gonna get better. It should get better. If it's not better by now, we'll be here in a minute. I just drove through a spot that I know that the signal's bad. I usually drop a phone call right there too if I'm trying to talk. I'm back now, cool. All right, well, hopefully I'll hold it then the rest of the way in.
I want to go visit the guy in New Zealand.
He's not in New Zealand.
Oh, that's true.
Vandal, correct me if I'm wrong. You're in Brisbane now, but you originally hail from New Zealand. Is that correct? I think we established that when I was in Tulsa. Night Strike told me that. So, set the record straight if I'm saying it wrong. But I watched that video today of you trying. Yes, sir. Okay, cool. Trying to video inside the gun store. I don't know why they wouldn't let you. Didn't make any sense to me either. But thank you for having a shirt on. That was pretty cool. Although with that epic beard, dude, nobody's paying attention to your shirt. So, say Brisbane. Sorry, it's not Brisbane. That's only what dumb Americans say.
What's it in Brisbane that I need to see?
Okay,
that's
so
like my bucket list item.
Your bucket list is to go to Brisbane?
Well, Australia and New Zealand. So that's like
that's on both of our bucket list, is to go to the land down under. And I want to catch everything that I need to catch. So I'm assuming I'm going to have to spend about 6 months. I don't think it's probably going to happen. But if we ever get that direction, Vandal, what do we need to go see? What do we need to look at? And are you available to be a tour guide? I guess would be the next question. And are we going to go to the cool barbecue place? It's not all that. Dude, it's all that compared to the town we live in.
Barbecue place.
You need to watch Vandal's video.
Okay.
You need to subscribe to Vandal. If you haven't subscribed to Vandalistica Vlogs, then you're missing out. What'd you say? What? I saw something about countryside.
I evidently can't watch it anymore. It's just the black screen.
Just open it back up. You should be able to go back and find me again. Oh, I'm sorry. Mrs. Sandhills is.
See, that's what it does. It looks like black.
Sandwich was on point. Hell yeah, it looked like it was. Except for the onions. I'm not going to do the onions. Not this cowboy, but that's alright.
How do you spell Vandal? E-L?
It's VANDAL
A-L.
ISTICA. All one word. Is that right? Tell me if I'm wrong. I think I spelled you right.
Vandalist.
Vandalistica Vlogs.
Right there. Subscribe.
There you go. You just got a new sub, buddy. Your newest subscriber is the Sandhills sweetheart. It always asks. He says thanks. Are you back on now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, ma'am. You're welcome.
You can type your welcome on there.
Oh. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, turn it back up where you can see the chat. Turn your phone up, right? And then tap down at the bottom and you can type. You
It
can't. What?
says create a channel to join the chat.
Oh, I thought you were signed into your channel.
Evidently not.
Well, you need to sign into your channel.
And I'm like, nope, I know my name.
Well, I would hope you know your name. I'm trying to read. I missed some messages there. I think I'm not sure what you said there, but either way, you got a new subscriber, and I think we're all good. You probably do have an actual name, don't you, Vandal? We just call you that because, well, I call you that because that's what Travis calls you. And Vandal's a cool name. I mean, it's a crime, I guess. But aside from that, just the name Vandal, that's pretty cool. Kind of like that bad dude from the comic books, Vandal Savage. So, all right. So maybe.
Yeah, Jared Logan Clark McCullough.
Sweet. All right. Well, we're gonna call you Jared then, I guess. I'll probably still call you Vandal. Roll call calls you Vandy. You know, that rhymes too much with Sandy, which a lot of people call me now. So I'll probably call you Vandal or Jared. If I remember, I'll try to remember. Is it cool? Can I call you Jared? Or do you want to be called something different? There's only one other Jared. Yeah, but you, sir, are not in prison.
There's somebody in prison?
Yeah.
Yes. You all know comment.
Oh, that Jared. Yeah, never mind. Yep, Rupan RX. Yes, I am friends with him on Facebook. Vandal, do you have a Facebook account? Because we need to be friends.
Prison break.
Prison break. Yeah, I was talking about a different Jared who went on the Subway Challenge, and now he's
I got you.
he's no longer in circulation, I don't think. He might be soulmates with Bill Cosby pretty soon. Or Pill Cosby, as people are starting to call him. So, Vandal, do you have a... He's losing weight involuntarily now. Yeah, prison food probably isn't as good as Subway. Do you have a Facebook account, sir? Because if you do, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and find Sandhills Shooter on Facebook and give me a like and a follow, and I will I'll hit you up on my personal account with a friend request.
I deleted it.
Oh. Well, then don't worry about it. Deleted it, kind of. That's all right. That's all right. The Facebook creator has been testifying in front of the U.S. Congress here lately anyway.
It's more of a secret Facebook.
A secret Facebook. All right. Well, if you want to share
I'll
that,
look you up.
that's cool. If you want to share your secret Facebook with me, just send me an email to Sandhills Shooter. Make sure you get both S's in the middle. Sandhills Shooter at gmail.com. And just let me know it's you. I guess if it's got your name in it, I'll probably know. But just let me know it's you, and let me know that it's what your secret Facebook name is, and I'll let you know what my name is on Facebook, which is actually just my name, and we can be friends. You'll be my first Facebook friend in Australia. I've got friends in Sweden and Spain and the U.S. I think that's it. I don't think I have any friends in any other country.
Who's your friends from Sweden?
Got a couple high school classmates. We had some exchange students when I was in high school.
I won't miss it. As a non-white man, I'm always on the lookout for SS.
You're always on the lookout for SS. I think if you stay out of Central Europe, you're going to be okay there, bud.
What's SS?
State security. Yeah, plus that was a totally different Germany.
Get it?
Yeah, I get it. I totally understand you, man. Yeah, I'm with you, but, you know, being mostly German blood, and not so much now, but when I was a kid, I had super, super blonde hair, almost white, and blue eyes, man. I could have been SS had I been born in a different country, different time. So, but as it is, I'm proud to go over there and kicked their butts and came home, so I'm here. It's all right being half German. It's all good. I have a Swedish last name, but I've got more German than anything else. Well, okay, so I am adopted. I know I have German blood, and that's all I know, actually. But were I born into my family, I'd still have more German than Swede. But,
Mom is full blood. She met my dad when he was in the Air Force. Yeah, I was born Aryan, but I grew out of it.
But I grew out of it. That's pretty much my story. I was born Aryan, but then my hair got darker because, well, I don't know why it got darker. Same reason I don't know why it's falling out now.
Hey, Steve.
But yeah, my granddad went to Europe. He was part of the 5th Armored Division. He was a recon half-track driver, so
It's like me and asthma.
what?
Evidently you grew out of asthma.
Like you and asthma, you don't know why you have that either? That would suck. I've got a lot of things that aren't right with me, but at least my airways don't just close up on me for no reason whatsoever. I can't even imagine what that feeling must be like. So my granddad not only drove a half-track, but you grew out of it. I gotcha. That makes sense. I see what you're saying now. Well, good. I'm glad you grew out of it. Not only was my granddad in a half track, but he was the half track that was the recon, so he was out a half a mile or so ahead of the rest of the armored column. And he had some stories. He didn't really talk about it much when I was a kid, but and he's gone now. But the last couple of years before he passed away, he finally, I don't know what happened, if he made some peace with some things or what happened, but he became a little more talkative, told a few more stories that nobody'd ever heard, and so I think he finally got to the point where he could talk about it, and I think it was maybe good for him to do so. But when he passed away, my dad ended up getting, my dad got the flag. It was, they had a military honor guard there, and he got the 21 gun salute at his funeral. And then a couple active duty soldiers were on hand, and they folded the flag and presented it. And my dad has 3 brothers, no sisters, 4 boys. And they all agreed that my dad should get the flag because my dad also served in the Army. And so along with that flag, my dad has that display, a shadow box of some of my granddad's medals, and like his shoulder patch, the 5th Armored Division patch. Some pretty cool stuff. Yeah, you're right. That's not something that a lot of people want to discuss. And he didn't go into a lot of detail, but he told a few stories, a few things that had happened. And one of the things, along with his qualification badges from qualifying with his rifle and whatnot, my granddad had a Bronze Star, which is given out for valor in combat. And he told me one time he has that, and he never did get told exactly what he did to earn that. They just pinned it on him, and they never really told him why. He's pretty sure he knows why. He was telling me the story about that, but basically he was driving his half track, and they were in a river valley. He was on the side hill, and the rest of the armored cavalry was on the other side of the hill from him, and they were driving along, and on the other side of the river, on the far bank, the Germans had a gun that was set up, and they were trying to shoot at my granddad's half track, and they shot short, and the shell landed below a few times, and then once the Germans shot and the shell landed up above them in the hillside, then the half-track commander, said, hey, everybody bail out, and they all ran for cover and got up and over the hill before the next shot came in, because the next one hit the half-track. My granddad, on the other hand, he was driving his door, the driver door, was downhill, not uphill, so everybody was able to use the half-track for cover, but my granddad had to bail out the other side, and that shell hit the half-track right when he jumped. And if you've ever seen a half-track door or any old truck door, the door handle hooked his pocket of his uniform pants, and the only reason that he lived through that day was because the uniform pants were flimsy. They're a lot tougher fabric now, but his pants just ripped right down the seam, and so he was able to go ahead and jump clear of the half track when that shell, and he got around it and got up over the hill. And then the lieutenant or whatever, lieutenant captain, I'm not sure who the half track commander was there, but he was counting heads, and he was short one. And so somebody said, well, one of the guys was shell-shocked and didn't run with them. And so the officer had to go back over the hill and go find this guy, and my granddad went with him. And they went down and they grabbed this guy, and between the two of them, they hauled him back up over the hill and got him out of there. And nobody died that day on my granddad's half track. And he says that's The only thing he can think of that would be heroic that he did, it's really one of the few stories I've ever heard him tell about his time in the army in Belgium. But that's, yeah, my granddad's a war hero. Cool. And my dad served in the army too. He never went overseas, but he was drafted during Vietnam. He was. The phone decided to reconnect, but we're back. So yeah, that's the kind of person that I was raised by, or the person that raised me was raised by. So no, I'm very proud to be able to say that I've got soldiers and I've got war heroes in my ancestry. I didn't serve, but I tell you what, I every chance into somebody that did and tell them thank you. I definitely do that. In fact, I did that tonight. The bride's granddad. It was kind of cool, the story that they told me tonight, because we had I try to do a dance every wedding dance. I try to have a dance for the married couples, and I start dismissing people. They've been married. Of course, the new bride and groom are the first ones to go, and we see who's the last couple standing, or the last couple dancing. And the bride's grandparents were there tonight, have been married for 65 years. And they didn't dance, but at the end they did get up. Grandma wasn't, I don't think she was quite able to dance very well. But been married for 65 years, and he said he's been married for one day more than his wife has. And he said, do you believe that? And I said, well, I believe it, but I don't know how it works, so you're going to have to tell me. And he said, well, he was coming home from Korea, and he crossed the international date line on his anniversary, and he lived that, he did the day over then. When he crossed the international date line, he got that day over, so he went through the same day twice on the calendar, because of that's how time travel works when you cross the international date line. That's why what time was it? 11:30 noon here in the bed, because it was, or whatever time you said it was. So yeah, with the international date line, that's time travel is goofy. Just like Bill Murray. Yep. I don't think that he had to listen to Sonny and Cher every morning, but yeah, so he actually lived that day twice, and so he says he's been married one day longer than his wife has. So that's pretty cool. Bill Murray. It's good to know that Bill Murray movies make it all across the world, because it doesn't get much better. So we're kind of losing our viewers. That's all right. I still can't believe anybody wants to watch me drive down the road. You guys rock. Thanks for keeping us company. Yeah, those, well, you can't really see them on my phone, but there's lights up ahead of us coming. That's my town. We're almost home. Yes, it does. Bill Murray. Yes, Ghostbusters has Bill Murray. And Groundhog Day. And Kingpin, which is not a family-friendly movie, but I tell you what, it's one of the best things I've ever seen Bill Murray do. Or Zombieland. He's made a lot of good stuff, hasn't he? One of my favorite parts I've ever seen him play was in Zombieland, where he played himself. And then he got shot because he dressed up like a zombie. Speed limit. Oh, hey. Look at that. It's been facing me ever since it reconnected. Kind of slow. There's the pretty lights of Norfolk, Nebraska. Ooh, I can hear frogs croaking in the ditch. We've had a little bit of rain. There's some standing water in places. And it's finally warm enough now that the frogs are out and talking. Apparently they still talk at 1:20 in the morning. We've got a roundabout on the highway. Everybody complains about it because they don't know how to drive through a roundabout. Do you do roundabouts in Australia, Vandal? Are you still with us? Yeah, you're still with us. You were just talking about Bill Murray. I'm down to just 2 people watching, so I think my wife is one of them. I think it's just the 3 of us. You forgot I live where, too? $4:21 p.m. there. It's still... Oh, Nebraska? That's me. Just like Travis. I'm not close to him, though. It'd take me about 2.5 hours to drive. Well, probably longer than that. It'd take me closer to 3 hours to drive to Travis's house from here. Oh, goodness. It's going to be good to be home. Get some rest.
Does Grim live in the same state?
Does Grim live in the same state? No, Grim lives in Illinois. Chicago, actually, or close to Chicago, if I remember right. Grim's a good guy. We met Grim in Tulsa, too. Grim. And I think 2 of his brothers. Yeah. R.I.P. Grim didn't die. He's the Grim Reaper. He collects souls. And he's also a teacher. I know that much. I think what did he tell me? Middle school science? I know he's a science teacher. I think it's middle school. That would be like the perfect teaching gig, wouldn't it? Middle schoolers they're old enough to follow directions. They're young enough to understand that you still know more than they do. By the time they get to high school, they're smarter than you. Okay, yeah, I don't know if he lives in Chicago. I want to say that he does, but we'd have to verify with him. I think that's what he told me. Or close to Chicago. But yeah, he's a gun guy. But John Z lives in Queens, New York, and he's a gun guy. You live in Brisbane, and arguably you're a gun guy, even though you don't get to, play with handguns and own them and carry them and stuff the way that we do here. Dude, you're a gun guy. So, heck yeah, you can be a gun guy and live in Chicago. You just don't get to carry it concealed. I don't think ever in Chicago. I don't know how the laws are, but I know they're pretty tough. They just don't want anybody defending themselves. See? Heck yeah, you are. Dude, you need to make a trip to the States. And while you're in the States, you need to make a trip to Nebraska. You pocket carry your finger gun? Do you carry it loaded, or is it Israeli carry finger? Can you Israeli carry your finger in Australia? We're kind of mixing up a lot of countries here. We're talking about it in the U.S. Oh, we're just a few blocks from home now. Cocked and locked. All right. That's the only way your finger ought to be. Just don't go around pointing that at people. You'll get yourself into trouble. They'll make you do a mandatory buyback on your finger. I heard there's a lawmaker and yeah, don't ever flag somebody with that finger. That'd be bad. I heard there's a lawmaker in California that wants to do a mandatory buyback, and apparently, I think was it Coda Boy? I think Coda Boy made a video that I was watching the other day. He was talking about that, and it's bad enough that somebody wants to do that here, but then the guy who said he was willing to pay fair market value. He would pay as much as $200 for some of these guns. Yeah, see, exactly. My wife doesn't even know the price of, you could name a specific gun, and except for the Browning she just bought me, she's not going to know what each gun costs or, what it retails for. But even she knows to laugh at that, $200. Because if guns were only, super expensive guns were $200, I'd probably have a few more of them by now. If that's all they were. If I didn't have expensive taste in Browning rifles and Beretta M9A3 pistols, which I don't own yet, but I will one day. Lord willing, I'll get one of those. So I tell you what, we're about home, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Those of you that were watching, those of you that catch this later on, thanks for tuning in. Vandal, thanks for keeping me company. You have a great rest of your afternoon. We're going to go have a great rest of our night. And hey, that looks like my garage, but I can't park in it because Sandhills Sweetheart parks in the garage. We only have the one. So, one garage, 3 vehicles. There's one for sale if you guys need anybody that, probably not in Brisbane, but anybody needs a Ford Taurus and you're close to Nebraska, let me know. It's for sale. 2004 Taurus with under 120,000 miles, I believe. So, cool. All right, good hang. Thanks for hanging out with us. We picked up 1 sub right when I'm leaving. TT Stroker. Hi, guess what? We've been rolling down the road. We are home, and I am going to sign off for the night. We've got some stuff going on, but we're not going to be able to go live driving down the road tomorrow just because the place where we're going to be driving, the service is going to be horrible. I would do more reconnecting than I would do broadcasting, so we won't be able to do any of that tomorrow. Maybe here in a week or two when we go on road trips, we might do some live broadcasting. Memorial Day weekend, I think the end of the month, we're gonna be in that for Nebraska, that horrible place called Omaha. So you can maybe check us out some more then. I've got a few videos I want to make. Like I said, I'm going to put together some stuff for a giveaway for hitting the 1,000 subscriber mark. So thanks everybody for watching that. Y'all have a good night, and God bless you.